Hey folks, how you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the 19th of November 2014. Lots of things going on, lots of personal family things to attend to. And today, the Views Express Live is taking the day off for that reason. You will be getting this podcast only today. So anyway, I want to say hello to all my friends out there on Facebook and also in Spreaker world. Hey, there's other places that, well, let's just put it this way. They're looking more enticing every day. So, me being the, me being a little technologically illiterate, or challenged, I should say, yeah, I got to look into these other places. Now, probably much better, and I've checked into a few, and they're, they're reasonable. I'll put it that way. But it is incredible that we have, we go from, Marconi, who started out with the dots and dashes, to something like this, isn't it? I mean, this is how technologically challenged most of us are. You ham radio people out there know what I'm talking about. But as we look at our world, we have to examine, I think, ourselves more than the situations we're in. Because if we don't, then we're not going to try to find the solutions to the problems that we're having. Amen? This goes without saying, obviously, because that's just common sense. So anyway, a little deep thought there in the first 2 minutes of the show. But I want to emphasize one very important factor. We have to pay attention. I don't know too many people who would ever want any of these problems to exist. I know people that say, well, if I can go back in time, if I can get a time machine and go back and tell my younger self don't do that, would it matter? No, it wouldn't. And I hear people say, well, why can't we just, sit down and talk things over and set things right? Well, we've tried that for thousands of years and looked where it's gotten us. Nowhere. Peace is not at the end of a gun. Peace is at the end of a concept. If at some point we decide that we don't like someone, then we go from there. If at some point we decide that we're going to work with somebody to help them out, we do it because of something inside of us. If we decide to go to war with someone, we do it for a reason, or no reason at all. So we have to take a look at ourselves more than we take a look at our situations and circumstances, because evil begets evil. That's all there is to it. And what's the opposite of that? Kindness, gentleness, love. With all that, you become happy. And you have a life, or you pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of that happiness that you seek. How do you do that? Well, first of all, you got to take a look at yourself, don't you? And if other people have called you an a-hole for so many years, well then, I don't know what to tell you. You got to really examine yourself and go from there. I'll be back after this little brief break. American Liberty Radio Network, sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? Listen to Ashley Jones on the Red Pill Radio Show on AlternativeCurrentRadio.com. The Pete Santilli Show on the Guerrilla Media Network, telling you the truth, whether you like it or not. GuerrillaMediaNetwork.com. Hey, folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Spear Show podcast for the 19th of November, 2014. Of course, we're cruising to the end of the year. We're coming up on 2015. So the question is, what are you going to do? I have vowed to stick around for quite a while, letting people know what's going on behind the curtain. And that's just the way it is. Because I'm not going to sit here and give you a line of bull crap. Oh, I'm going to read the stories. I'm going to read you what the state-run media puts out. But I'm going to give you what's behind the curtain as well. And, of course, tell you my opinion of it. Again, my opinion. Now, with that in mind, people are going to say, well, that's your opinion. That's not mine. Really? Then what's yours? I tell people all the time, and I ask you, please email me, and nobody does. Why? Because I'm sure you don't want to know the truth. Besides, you don't have any balls to email me. Yeah, you don't. FreeAmericaRadio@USA.com. FreeAmericaRadio@USA.com. Excuse me. Facts are facts, folks, and if you're not willing to accept them, and you're more apt to deny them, you're not going to know a damn thing. That's just the way it is. My opinion. So let's go to RT, shall we? RT.com. Vladimir Putin's arm, media arm. Speaking of Putin, mutual respect and non-interference will improve relations with U.S. President Vladimir Putin has accepted the credentials of new U.S. Ambassador John Teft and said that he hopes for a thawing in ties with Washington based on mutual respect and both sides keeping out of each other's backyards. Quote, "We are ready for practical cooperation with our American partners concerning a wide range of issues under the principles of mutually understanding each other without interfering in each other's internal affairs," unquote. Putin said at a ceremony at the Kremlin, where he accepted the credentials of 15 new ambassadors to the country, including U.S. Ambassador John Teft. Putin said that Russia and the U.S. share responsibility for ensuring safety and stability around the globe and reiterated that Moscow was willing to work with the U.S. following strained relations between the two countries. Underlining the importance of the two countries' role around the world, Putin said, quote, "Russia and the U.S. have a particular responsibility to support safety and stability in the world and to counter global challenges and threats," unquote, according to a transcript of his remarks reported by RIA Novosti. The official presentation of the 15 ambassadors took place in the Kremlin. The new U.S. ambassador to Russia, John Teft, takes over from predecessor Michael McFaul, who left his post following the conclusion of the Sochi Olympics in February. Among other issues, the crisis in Ukraine, where Washington has accused Moscow of backing anti-government forces in the southeast of the country, as well as Crimea voting to cede from Ukraine, has not helped relations between the two countries. Meanwhile, Russia has been critical of U.S. sanctions imposed on Russia for what Washington perceives as its role in the unrest in Ukraine. Ambassador Taft has experience of working in countries of the former Soviet Union, while he also has a history of unrest following him wherever he is posted. He was ambassador to Georgia in 2008 when Georgian troops attacked South Ossetia, leading to a short military conflict in the region. Meanwhile, he left his position as ambassador in Ukraine shortly before the Maidan protest broke out in late 2013, which forced the democratically elected President Viktor Yanukovych, I don't know, it's Russian, to flee. On October 27th, ABC News accused Russia of Cold War-style harassment of U.S. embassy diplomats, which included slashing, hacking, and breaking into diplomatic apartments. Reporting on the issue at length, ABC Kryt Radio listed a number of cases when U.S. officials, none of whom were named, were targeted by Russia's aggressive, this is a quote, aggressive Soviet-era counterintelligence tactics, unquote, of intimidation and harassment, quote, believed to be led by Russia's Federal Security Services, unquote. The report specifically focused on Ambassador McFaul, who was, quote, was targeted by aggressive actions, unquote. The Office of Inspector General described McFaul's treatment as, quote, a level of petty and more serious harassment far exceeding that experienced by his predecessors, unquote. However, McFaul declined an opportunity to respond to ABC's report regarding the allegations. The thing, folks, that you have to understand is that it's all a global chess game. It's what it is, folks. It's all a global chess game. There's absolutely no winners or losers in this. It's a global chess game. Okay? If you've ever played chess, you know that you can move your pieces to make the game last longer. Do you not understand this? Okay? So, when we look at the situations that are going on in the world today, we have to we should understand that it is nothing but a chess game. Now, Ferguson is on alert. Let's come back to the States and go to Ferguson, Missouri. Ferguson is on alert. Militant group offers cash rewards for location of officers. And here's one. Oh, there's a lot of them here, so I'm probably going to go down a couple of them here. First of all, here's this. This is from stlouis.cbs.local.com. stlouis.cbslocal.com. I'm going to put this one up. I didn't put the other one up that I read about Russia, but this one I'm going to put up on the Wayne S. Spear Show Facebook page. The report, alleged officer warns Ferguson, quote, if you don't have a gun, get one, unquote. Yeah. Law enforcement in the Ferguson area are preparing for potential protests and riots following the grand jury's decision in the Michael Brown investigation, which is expected sometime this month. Yesterday, they said this week. Just letting you know. Talking to St. Louis Cop Talk Forum, a supposed police officer in the Ferguson area issued a warning to others in the community to protect their families with firearms. Many posting in the forum expressed fears that demonstrators will take to the streets regardless of the decision made in the August 9th shooting death of 18-year-old by Officer Darren Wilson. Vocative reports that under the name A Concerned Cop, one commenter shared the following warning. Quote, if you do not have a gun, get one and get one soon. We will not be able to protect you or your family. It will be your responsibility to protect them. Our gutless commanders and politicians have neutered us. I'm serious. Get a gun, get more than one, and keep one with you at all times, unquote. The identity of the commenter and their status as a police officer was not confirmed by independent sources, but this comes as the FBI released an intelligence bulletin stating a grand jury decision, quote, will likely be exploited by some individuals to justify threats and attacks against law enforcement and critical infrastructure, unquote. Missouri Governor Jay Nixon also signed an executive order activating the Missouri National Guard on Monday. Comments on the St. Louis Cop Talk Forum have labeled protesters in Ferguson as terrorists and ridiculed local businesses that have showed public support for activists in the area. The forum was cited by a Tennessee man who successfully crowdfunded in excess of $3,000 to place a hashtag pants up don't loot unquote billboard in the Ferguson area. It's coming unglued, folks. I don't care what the verdict is. Okay? I don't care what the verdict is. That Ferguson, Missouri is mostly black community. I have nothing against blacks, but I'm going to tell you right now, they're out for blood. Okay? If this cop is not thrown into prison, they're going to riot. If he is not given the death sentence, they're going to riot. If he is acquitted, they're going to riot. It doesn't matter what the outcome of this case is. They're going to riot. So this is the way it is. FoxNews.com. Muslim groups seek to co-opt Ferguson protests, says Watchdog Group. This was written by Stephen Edwards. Thank you, Stephen. Whoops, wait a minute. Let me go back. I want to go back. I want to do this. Hold on just 1 minute. Holy crap. I'm going to put the article I just read up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. There we go. You ever have one of those mornings where you go turn on your computer and it starts spitting out sparks and crap like that? No, it hadn't happened. I'm just saying it's one of those mornings. But I put this one article I just read up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. So you might want to go check that out. And there it is. It's posted. Now, here's this. And I'm going to post this up there before I forget it. It's like multitasking here this morning. Fox News is reporting Muslim groups seek to co-opt Ferguson protests, says Watchdog Group. Stephen Edwards, thank you, Stephen. Muslim groups have stepped up efforts to co-opt protests over fatal shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, with a drive to equate the teen's death to the death of a radical Islamist, there we go, shot during an FBI raid in 2009, a Washington-based security watchdog group is warning. Using social media, conference calling, and traditional outreach methods, leaders of the Council on American Islamic Relations are portraying Brown and Detroit mosque leader Imam Luqman Ahmed Abdullah as African-American victims of police targeting, according to the Washington-based Center for Security Policy. In a conference call organized by Care-linked Muslims for Ferguson, a Care official called Abdullah a shaheed or martyr and said both he and Brown were victims of a national security apparatus that had completely gone wild and engaged in demonizing and criminalizing Muslims. Quote, the reality is that this country and law enforcement, be it local, state, or federal law enforcement, people with guns have always seen black men and black people as threats, unquote. Dawad Walid, executive director of CARE's Michigan chapter, told the some 100 protest organizers on a call made on a 5-year anniversary of Abdullah's death, and which was monitored by CSP, the Center for Security Policy. Walid claimed Brown was a Muslim, although when pressed, Walid denied that he had made such a claim. Brown was buried in August after a memorial service at a Friendly Temple Missionary Baptist Church in St. Louis. I've got this one up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, so if you would, please go check that out. Now, let's stay there for a minute because I want to tell you this. And it's not going because something is wrong with the browser. There we go. dailymail.co.uk exclusive. Militant group offers cash rewards for location of Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson and says ammunition will solve a lot of the problems. Self-described militant resistance offers $5,000 to find where Wilson is. Claims they, quote, just want to get his photo, unquote, but also have incendiary Twitter feed which says ammunition will, quote, unquote, solve problems. Mounting fear of extremist violence in Ferguson when grand jury decides whether to charge Wilson over Michael Brown's shooting death. State of emergency declared and National Guard mobilized in preparation. I'm going to put this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page as well. I want to say a couple of things here regarding all this. Okay. I'm going to say this. I'm going to put this out here. I'm going to make this very, very plain, simple, up in your face, blatant. I don't care. Use as many words as you want. I'm going to tell you like it is without any of the BS. We need to ban every single radical Muslim group there is. By the way, just recently, CARE, the one I talked about in that one article, they were declared a terrorist group. So don't believe them. Okay? That's just the way it is. My thing is this. And I said it, ban them all. Oh, you can't do this. This is America. They have freedom of religion. They have no. Get your head out of your ass. Okay? I'm not going to feed you a line of BS. No. Let me ask you something. Let me put you in this hypothetical situation. You're in your neighborhood. Okay? And somebody or a group of people come to your door almost every week. And they keep talking to you about their, well, I'm going to specifically say this. They come to your door and they talk to you about Allah. That's the Muslim God. They talk to you every week and you're sitting there and you're listening and you're cordial and you're fine with them discussing things and you give them tea, whatever it is, you know. And all of a sudden, one week they come to you and they say, well, are you ready to convert? And you're like, no, I just like the conversation. This is kind of cool. I'm learning a whole bunch of stuff here. This is great. No, I'm not going to convert because I have my own religion. Well, all of a sudden they slash your tires on your car, they kill your dog, they burn your lawn, they, wreck your home while you're gone. They totally destroy a lot of stuff to try to intimidate you. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That tells me that they are nothing but terrorists. They're terrorists. I was going to use another word, but I'm not going to go there. And that's what they are. They're all like that. Yes, I know I'm lumping a whole lot of nice ones in there as well, but they know, they understand. And if the moderate or positive Muslims in America, the ones that are, saying, oh, we don't have any affiliation with those types and blah, blah, blah. You know what? If you cannot stand up on your own 2 feet and point these people out, these radical jihadists, if you conservative Muslims, you people who are just, there and just want peace and all that, and you're in America for the freedom and all this, if you don't have the guts, the balls, or the backbone to stand up and point these radical jihadists out for the rest of us to see, then you are no better than they are. And I know some Muslims in Stockton, California, where I grew up, and they'll give the shirt off their back to you if you need it. And they themselves, I've heard several people already say that, well, we don't, that's them, and they're wrong, and they can't do this, and blah, 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 so, but they're not standing up and pointing them out and saying, well, here's the leader of that group, and here's where you can find them. They're not, do you know why? Because that group would probably wind up being, firebombed or something. Their mosque might be tore up or something like that. So they don't want to get involved in that. But I'm going to say it again. Ban them. Ban them. We've got enough people, citizens, to go in there, find out where they're at, go in there, haul them out, declare citizens arrest, and have the authorities take care of them. We have enough people to do that. Well, you're talking about declaring war on Muslims. No, I'm not. Christianity has declared war on Muslims, not me. So anyway. Yeah, I said it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't think anybody has the balls to do anything. That's my thought. Well, what about you? What, you're going to wait around for someone else to do it? And then, if they get caught or killed or, succeed, you're going to say, well, hey, that guy did it. I can go do it too. No. Don't wait around. You don't have the balls to do anything anyway. So you might as well just, suck them puppies up into your body and, just close your door and forget about life, man. Just sit back, grab your beer, watch your stupid ESPN. Don't even worry about what's going on because you don't have the balls to stand up to it anyway. You don't have the backbone to stand up to it anyway. You don't have the guts to stand up to it anyway. So what's the point? Well, you're going to wait around for somebody else to do it and then you're going to get involved? Have you seen what's going on around the United States of America? Have you seen the protests? Have you seen the people like you and I standing up outside of different areas and protesting? And I know that there are people out there who, they yell, scream, jump up and down and say, we need to go do this and violently take back our city. Yeah. And have them declare martial law like they're doing in Ferguson, Missouri. Are you an idiot? Oh, obviously you are, because you don't have the balls the backbone or the guts to stand up to anything. You really don't. Because if you say that you are a patriot and this is your country and you'll die for it, but then you won't even get up off of your ass and go out and protest, then I have to question your integrity and your credibility. If you're the type of person that gets confronted by somebody else and then, goes and calls the cops and hides behind, the militarized law enforcement, yeah, you can leave the neighborhood anytime now because I'm not going to put up with your bullcrap. You call yourself a patriot that you'll die for this country, but you hide behind the New World Order militarized law enforcement against me? Well, you've just blown your credibility and integrity with me. You can keep on walking and have a nice day while you're doing it. Nobody has, come on. Seriously. You call yourself a patriot? You call yourself a United States citizen that will do anything to defend your rights and your freedoms and your liberties, but you won't even get up out of your chair to go out and protest? To gather a few folks together and go down to your state capitol or to the governor's mansion or to the city hall and protest? You don't have the guts to confront your city council members on Agenda 21, UN Agenda 21 Sustainable Development in your area, which is costing you money and serving no purpose whatsoever? You call yourself an activist? That you won't go downtown and stand there with the sign protesting whatever it is you're protesting? I don't know. I have to question your credibility. I have to question everything about who you are. And that's the thing. I'm going to go to break. I'm going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. Come back. I'll hit up some news, and then we'll get into something else. I got something to talk to you about, all right? So hang in there. You want to email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. I shall return right after this. Chris Ann Hall, Liberty's lobbyist. Go to Chris Ann Hall, KrisAnnehall.com, KrisAnnHall.com. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? Listen to Ashley Jones on the Red Pill Radio Show on AlternativeCurrentRadio.com.
The world is falling apart. Countries are fighting for supremacy and control. Each country's leaders are saying they should rule their people. This is neither politically correct or morally right. It is the people that suffer by the hands of the corrupt leaders of their countries. For the people to be free, they must take a stand against the corporations that control the politicians.
American Liberty Radio Network, sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Wayne S. Pierce Show, right here on the Free America Radio Network on Spreaker.com. Now, I sound like one of those NPR people, don't I? Our next guest will be, it's like... Anyway, hey, go check out a show that I like. I've listened to, and that would be WakingUpTheMasses.com. Yes, that would be Mr. Bob Brutus over there. He hadn't had a show in a while. Some personal matters came to the forefront, and he had to take care of those. But go to WakingUpTheMasses.com for more information. Go check out someone else. There's a couple of people. Let me just, give it to you. Go check out Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. He's got a lot of rants, a lot of very insightful educational rants. So check that out. Go check out Brian Lang over at LiveTruthRadio.com. Yes, LiveTruthRadio.com. Also check out, if you would, Mr. Spencer Hughes on the Spencer Hughes Show on Live365.com. Go check that out, the Spencer Hughes Show, or go to spencerhughes.net for more information as well. And, of course, the Views Express live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, right here on the Free America Radio Network on Spreaker.com. But today it is off. You get this podcast, and that's the way it is. So some situations arose, and I got to take care of them. So, anywho, a lot of things going on. Let's get into some news, shall we? So, have we figured it out yet that we should not have any compromise with any radical group? I don't care what religion they are. They can be Christians, Catholics, Protestants, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't give a crap. If they're radical and they want to do away with you and kill you, or kill you because you're not converting to their religion, no, we need to take care of them. We need to round them up and kick them out is what we need to do. Oh, there's a lot of deserted islands all over the world. Why don't we just drop them off on one of them? Well, we can't do that because this is America, and we have freedom of speech, and we have freedom of religion, and we have freedom of... And you got your head so far up your ass that when you fart, you give yourself a migraine. Okay. Keep on trying to compromise with these idiots. They're out to kill you. Do you understand me? Can I make it any plainer than that? All right? I don't know what to tell you. I just... okay? I don't know. It does get to the point, though, that you start to feel as if you don't have really a foundation that you can start from, a really good, solid, traction on things. When it gets so out of hand, you're like, well, what do I do now? Well, you should have listened to the people before this stuff happened. That way you would have known what to do, or at least had, brains enough to figure it out. So, anyway, WashingtonTimes.com. DHS Secretary says country should face new or could face. DHS Secretary. You know who that is, don't you? DHS Secretary says country could face new surge of illegals. Written by Stephen Dinan. Thank you, Stephen. Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson warned Wednesday that the country could face another spike in illegal immigration as the U.S. economy picks up and as seasonal patterns change, though he said they have made major progress in combating the surge of illegal immigrant children that wrong-footed his department earlier this year. Whatever that means. Quote, "We're determined that we need to do more ourselves for border security," unquote, Mr. Johnson said in a speech at the National Press Club, sponsored by Democratic group NDN. Quote, "I'm concerned about the possibility of another rise in illegal migration," unquote. Mr. Johnson's focus on border security is a change from his predecessor, former Secretary Janet Napolitano, a former Arizona governor who repeatedly said the border was secure. This summer surge of illegal immigrant children and families from Central America exposed flaws in the current immigration enforcement system, particularly U.S. agencies' inability to quickly deport many of them. In other words, overwhelm the system. Nobody can do anything to combat this, and then they're here, and then you go, oh, hey, they're here anyway, let's just sign this amnesty bill and go from there. Cloward and Piven, look them up, startpage.com. Startpage.com, Cloward and Piven. Mr. Johnson, let me continue here. Mr. Johnson also predicted President Obama would take steps to boost border security as part of his planned unilateral action on immigration, which advocates hope will involve granting temporary amnesty to millions of illegal immigrants in the U.S. right now. See, told you. There you go. Right there. There it is. Putting this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. You allow them to come in. You create the problem. People like you and I react to the problem, and then you say, oh, hey, we'll solve it this way. Really? It doesn't solve the problem, folks. It never has, and it never will. Okay? Never, 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 never solves the problem. Okay? Never. I don't know why people cannot figure that out. Okay? I don't know. All right? I don't know. But I can say this, though. People are very much aware of what's going on. People are aware of what's going on. And they're combating this any way they can. And it's very, very interesting to see how this whole thing plays out in the next few months. Okay? Interesting, to say the least. Very interesting. Okay? Now, is it going to play out well? I don't know. I don't have my crystal ball in front of me. My gut tells me no. I would just as soon follow that than any other state-run media propaganda puppet. But I'm going to tell you this much. Things have to change. That's all there is to it. Things have to change. And if they don't, we're in some serious doo-doo, folks. We're in some serious doo-doo if we don't change things now. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. If we don't change things now, it's going to get out of hand, and then it's going to be impossible for you and I to change things. But then again, I don't think it was impossible for 3% of the population back in 1776 to beat the biggest army in the world, the British Army, and kick them out of the country and tell King George, give him the big middle finger. Oh, wait, that's a greeting over there for some folks. Give him the big ass kicking that he needs and tell his troops to get the hell out of our country. Okay? Now, I understand why people can be upset. I understand that. Well, you can't, do this. Really? Really? I understand this stuff, folks. I know exactly how these things will play out. The only question is, I know the method by which they're going to play out, but what is going to happen, I have no idea. But I do know this, that it's not going to be an if situation. It's not. It's not going to be an if situation. It's going to be, this is what's going to happen. Now, you can listen to other hosts, and they'll tell you the same thing, and they'll say, well, this, and this, and this is going to have to play out in this direction, and blah, blah, blah. All these people have different opinions as to how this is going to play out and who the players are. All I can say, and hopefully encourage you to do, is to listen to them and then take take the things that they say, including what I say, and go and figure this stuff out on your own. Because I'll tell you right now, statistics don't lie. Okay? Statistics don't lie. All right? There was a huge, years ago, I think Clinton was in office, there was a huge, problem then, about going to war and about this and about that and blah, blah, blah. And I look at that and I say, you know what? This is playing out again. But instead of, instead of packing up, men and women and sending them overseas, it's now opening the borders and allowing these illegal aliens to come in. Okay? And if you notice, folks, there's not enough There's not enough of our own military here in the U.S. to take care of the situation if we have a problem. That is why you and I need to get locked and loaded, period. I know I'm advocating arming up. Yes, I am. Because this is our country, and we're going to have this country. This is our country, and if other people don't like it, you know what? I'll help you pack and leave. I was born and raised here, and this is my country too. Yeah, but if you're complacent and compromising, and you're allowing this stuff to happen, you're no better than the freaking criminals in Washington, D.C. So let me help you pack, because I'm sure there's a deserted island somewhere for you. Or you can go to North Korea, Mexico, or China, or Russia. Either way, I think you'll be a hell of a lot happier elsewhere than you are here. Because, obviously, this country is not the way you want it to be. Let me tell you something. And you can look back in history on this one in the United States. We have been fighting communism, socialism, fascism, and all that here in the U.S. We have been fighting all of that here in the U.S. amongst our own people. And not one damn person has the guts to stand up to these a-holes that think that America should be a dictatorship or, turned into Nazi Germany or be a socialistic country. Nobody's got the balls or the backbone to stand up to these jackasses and tell them, look, shut the hell up or move to another country. I got the gonads, folks. Pick it up and ship it out if you don't like the U.S. Do you understand me? If you want it to be like Nazi Germany or like, Russia or North Korea or whatever it is, or China, why don't you pack your crap and go to those countries and leave this country? Because you don't deserve to be an American. Oh, and by the way, that goes for the infiltrated groups such as the Socialist Party of the USA, the Communist Party of the USA, the Ku Klux Klan. When I said infiltrated, I mean infiltrated by feds. Do you understand me? Go take a look. They were infiltrated long before they were even popular. Okay? Go check it out. Now, whether or not you like the way I speak about this stuff, it's not my problem. Do I give you the truth without all the BS? Of course I do. And if you think it's BS, then I got an email for you. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, we need to be more positive. We got to stop looking at all the negative and we need to be more positive. Well, hey, amen to that one. I'm totally in agreement with that. We need to be more positive, but we also need to use more common sense, and we need to use the head that God gave us. You know what I mean? We need to use our brains. We need to understand. We need to simplify what others have complicated. We need to make it to where we can understand it. Now, whether or not you like any of that, stupid. Yeah, my phone's ringing. My phone is not. My cell phone is ringing, and it's not working at all. So it's buzzing. So anyway, but if you don't like this country, leave. If you don't like this country, pack it and leave now, today. Go. Bye-bye. Have a nice time in China or Russia or Mexico or North Korea. Go ahead. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. No, not see you later. No, bye-bye. Leave. Go away. But yes, we need to be positive. Yes, we need to build up those that are, struggling. Okay? But I don't know why people, and I've said this before many, many years ago, and then I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna say anything unless, I'm not gonna talk to people unless it's very much warranted and I got something to say. Well, it built up over the years, and I have a lot to say. Okay? And it's fundamentally this. You got a choice. You can either do with what you have or go without. That's very basic and very vague, I know. But in terms of, or in regards to the United States and the peace, freedom, security, and peace that we're looking for in this country, we need to understand, just by using common sense, who the enemy is. And the enemy is anybody who wants to suppress that peace, freedom, security, and liberty in this country. Period. I don't care who it is. It could be the President of the United States. It could be some Islamic group somewhere. It can be some Christian group somewhere. It could be some Protestant group somewhere, some Catholic group somewhere. That if they try to suppress our rights, we have the obligation and the duty to what? To make sure that doesn't happen. And if a government is doing that, if Washington, D.C. is doing that, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is there to protect us. The Declaration of Independence gives us that right to push this government out of the way and install other people who are going to make it right. Go to startpage.com, go look up Constitution PDF or Declaration of Independence PDF, and you will see it. So anybody that wants to argue with me, you're not going to win. I might learn a few things from you, and I hope I do, and I hope you learn a few things from me, but you're not going to win the argument. You might think you've gotten me to sway to your side, but unless it's peace, freedom, liberty, and security for this nation, Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the United States, as it was prior to 1871, if you're not standing on those principles, you ain't standing in front of me. And I'm not going to take 2 seconds of my time and waste it on you. So you're not going to win this argument. Bye. Pack it, jacket, and leave, buddy, because you got Mexico, North Korea, Russia, or China to go to. You don't like it? I don't care. I tell it like it is, folks. That's the way it is. I'm going to go to a little break here, and I'll come back for the last segment, last little bit. And, well, yeah, okay. You got questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, show me why. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. I shall return right after this. With her unique, fast-paced, witty sarcasm, Angel Clark brings you the news of the day with a creative twist. Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern on RadioFreedom.us. You can also listen to her live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Lock it on to the best station on the net.
The Free America Radio Network. Are you a filmmaker and want to make your epic feature film with no money, some money, and or all the money in the world? Listen to Christopher J. Taylor as he discusses everything you need to know about filmmaking and more on Film 101 on HTLA973.com. What's that moving in the shadows? Claranormal Talk Radio with your host, Steve Hembry, right here on RadioKahuna.com. Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com.
Thank you for joining us today on RadioKahuna.com. We so appreciate having you in. This is Steve from Claranormal Talk Radio. I'm also here, one of the personalities on Radio Kahuna. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy having you people in. Thank you so very much. Hey, we're growing all over the planet by leaps and bounds. People from all over the planet are coming in and listening. But there's not enough. It's not enough. We need more. We're asking for your help. Tell a friend. Tell 2 friends. Tell 10 friends. Just tell them this. Tell them they'll get laid. Come on in. Enjoy the surf. The sets are fine. Steve from Claranormal Talk Radio and Radio Kahuna. Thank you very much.
Dreams that you dream of.
Welcome back, folks. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. You can go to thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com for more information, of course. And just to let you know, the views expressed live has taken the day off. Some personal issues have come up, so I got to take care of those. But you can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. You can also go to the alternate site, the backup site that we have, which is at AmericanLibertyRadio.wix, that's wix.com/ALR network. That's AmericanLibertyRadio.wix.com/ALR network. So that's our backup site. I'm working on the main site. So anyway, again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please email me. Even if you think I'm wrong, show me why you think I'm wrong. freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. You can go to the WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com site and click on the emergency food supply link to get all your emergency food supply that you want before the next man-made or natural disaster happens. You'll need your 72-hour bug-out bag as well, so check that out. Go to thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com for all that, and even if you want to sponsor the show, you can do that too. There's a sponsors page there, and I'm not out to break your advertising budget, and that's the way I like it. So email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. That's freeamericaradio@usa.com. Have a great day, folks.